Hello, and welcome to Ruth Reacts to Books. I'm your host, Ruxie Ruth McGouth. And this is Season 2, Episode 35. And today, I am reacting to Ilona Andrews' book, Magic Triumphs. This is book 10 in the Kate Daniels series. It is the final book that closes out the series about Kate Daniels in Atlanta. And there are 2 novellas that are written that take place afterwards, that take place in a different place, I found out. So I'll go ahead and read the inside of the book. I'll tell you about what I rated the book and what I liked, what I didn't like. And I'll tell you about the food that I've given you a recipe link to and what nails I'm wearing and why I'm wearing them. And don't worry, I don't give spoilers, so you don't have to worry about that. All right. In this epic can't-miss entry in the thrilling #1 New York Times bestselling urban fantasy series, mercenary Kate Daniels must risk all to protect everything she holds dear. Kate has come a long way from her origins as a loner taking care of paranormal problems in the post-shift Atlanta. She has made friends and enemies. She's found love and started a family with Curran Leonard, the former Beast Lord. But her magic is too strong for the power players of the world to let her be. Kate and her father, Roland, currently have an uneasy truce, but when he starts testing her defenses again, she knows that sooner or later a confrontation is inevitable. The witch oracle has begun seeing visions of blood, fire, and human bones. And when a mysterious box is delivered to Kate's doorstep, a threat of war from the ancient enemy who nearly destroyed her family, she knows her time is up. Kate Daniels sees no other choice but to combine forces with the unlikeliest of allies. She knows betrayal is inevitable. She knows she may not survive the coming battle, but she has to try. For her child, for Atlanta, for the world. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Well, I gave this book 5 stars. I didn't look back to see if I've ever given any other Kate Daniels book 5 stars. And I do love the Kate Daniels series. I think she is fantastic. I think these authors, so Ilona Andrews doesn't really exist. It's a husband and wife couple. I think one name is Ilona and the other one's name is Andrew. So they combined their names to be Ilona Andrews. It's very cute. So they co-write this book series together. And so I pretty much I give it 5 stars. I pretty much liked everything about the book. There's a lot of cuteness. There's obviously a whole lot of plot movement since this is sort of the final book in this particular part of the series. Like I said, there are these 2 novellas that I looked up and see that there is written afterwards about this group of people. But it doesn't take place in Atlanta. I understand it takes place in like some other locale. So I will be reading those for sure. But I understand that they're novellas, so I'm hoping, I don't know if the library will have them. The library in the place that I live now does not seem to have as many books as the library in the place that I moved from. So, although it does have this book, which is great. So it kind of closed out a lot of things that we had throughout the 10 books that I had read so far in this series. There was a lot of cool things where, you know, characters came back from other books. We had new things added. And throughout, they do a pretty good job throughout the whole series of building upon the characters. You get to know them. And you kind of come to know the different groups of people that are in this world. So they do a good job of world building, especially in this location and with the people that you're getting to know and the creatures and everything, because there's lots of different characters, and like there's were creatures and there's vampires and there's different kinds of, like, she has her own magic, the character of Kate, and everything. So I thought they did a good job of that. This one definitely has like an epic battle where like all of the characters are fighting together. So that was really cool in this book. The only thing I didn't like, so while I was reading this, I was thinking, you know, that my husband, who is my #1 fan and watches all my videos, I was thinking, like, it's strange he's never read these books, because And I was like, he might not have watched any of my Ilona Andrews series. I don't know if I have another Ruth Reacts about, like, I think I might probably do from like way back when I was first doing my first series of Ruth Reacts. I probably have a really early one of when I was reading back in season 1 in 2020. I was probably still reading an earlier book of Kate Daniels, but he wasn't with me then. So he probably wasn't watching it then, or maybe he was. I don't know. Anyway, I was thinking he should probably start reading these books. So I told him about them while I was reading this one. And he's way into the series now, and he loves them. He's really into it, but so I read the books, right? So I looked the book up, and then I would see Kate Daniels book 1. And then I would look up, okay, what's Kate Daniels book 2? And I went and got Kate Daniels book 2 and got Kate Daniels book 3 and Kate Daniels book 4. Well, he went deeply into this and found out that there was even half books and little novella books in between. And I found out I missed all these little side stories in between where there was stories about her friend Andrea. So I found out that there's all these stories that I missed. And in this book, they referenced a bunch of those. So I'm going to have to go back and read those now because they reference all of these. They reference at least 2 of these side books in this book. And she's mad at her friend for not telling her about these things. And I'm now I'm mad that I didn't know about them either. So that was interesting and funny that those 2 things kind of happened at the same time that I found out about those. And I also heard about them in this book. Had no idea that there were side books. So if anyone's out there and you're going to start from book 1, definitely know that there's side stories that are happening as well. These little novellas about her friend Andrea. So take a look at those. Read those as well because apparently they're worth a read. For the food that I connected with this book, I went and looked up what is a food from Atlanta, and there was a bunch of different ones, but one of them I saw was fried green tomatoes, and I thought, gosh, I sure have a whole lot of green tomatoes in my backyard right now because I had a lot of still tomatoes that were green that didn't ever get turned red, and so I thought, you know what? It might be a great time of year to get some fried green tomato recipes. And if that connects with Atlanta, which is where these books take place, and this is the last one about Atlanta, let's go ahead and throw that up there. So I've got a fried green tomato recipe for you in the comments. And then for my nails for this book, this is called Tokyo Drift or Tokyo Lights. And so it's gold sparkles, and then it has also red in there. And so in this book, there is a scene where somebody comes riding in on a golden chariot. And then there's another part of the book where there is a very important red jewel. And so that's why I decided to wear these beautiful nails for this week for this book. So I'll be thinking about Kate Daniels all week as I wear these beautiful nails, which Tokyo Lights is one of my absolute favorite Colorstreet sets. They almost always have it for sale. So I have bought it many a time. Always looks good, and it's always a good one to pick. So I hope you guys all have a good week. I know it's a rough time out there for a lot of people, so it's always good to have a good book to keep company while things are really tough. And you know what? Reach out to your friends. Have connections with real people that you can talk to. It's always, I had a couple of times this week I got to connect with a couple of my friends. Had a call with one of my college friends that I haven't talked to for a really long time, and that was just really soul connecting. And then I had coffee today with one of my high school friends, and it's just so nice to have those connections with people who just really know you on that deep and loving level, and that's what we really need right now. So get out there and connect with your friends, and if you don't have a lot of friends, go make some friends. There's ways to do that, and if you need to know how to do that, Google that. Look at how to make friends. There are ways to do that out there, and so you're worth it. You're wonderful. You're loved. Leave me a comment if you want to connect with me, and I would love to connect with you. Have a great week, and I will see you next week for the next episode of Ruth Reacts to Books. Bye now.